With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Yellow, go on, Eddie. Nice 50. I'm on. Check. Lucky. Hey, yo, go. 15. You think you gonna get this? 22 jet bomber.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And let's face it, what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And it's complete to Kelce. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a 1st down.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here, game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cut. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mahomes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Kelce, the intended receiver there. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the 1st quarter.
Too many ones in this play. 1st quarter, 1st drive, 1st interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
It's our time. It's our time. Mike's 59. Mike's 59. Hey, Haywood. Mike, check.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And to the tight end, Olsen, right side. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And Charles, a couple extra defensive backs in here on 3rd and 1.
Not expecting them to run it at all.
Check. Go. 59, Mike. Check. 59. You're not ready to go.
From the shotgun, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there at 22.
Back 25. 59. Big stop.
A first down carry by Elliott. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Ryan. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Now Ryan. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
25, 20, 20.
First and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Mike part 9, Mike part 9.
I got you. Hey, seam 6, seam 6.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. From 17 yards out. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
The big fellow was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Patriots take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Gain of 17 yards. First down, Patriots.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. Caught. Kelsey, left side. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The linebacker Darius Leonard applied the heat.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Mahomes now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10, and they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. One more time with Lindsey. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. So as they take it over, we step aside. This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. And the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. They go for it on 4th and goal, but that winds up incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Cowboy defense comes up with a goal line stand. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
On first down, Ryan. Catch here, left side, Thomas. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Operating from the gun, Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now Ryan on first down. And caught left side, Olsen. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now it's Ryan. And this is caught. It's Cooper. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Marr able to put this one through. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's into the clear. And he takes it the distance. No time remaining.
No cloth on the field.
Yeah, no flags, and it's a kickoff return to end the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes. Across the 40-yard line.
It's a gain of 11. That's good for a Cowboys first down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
92-80, back 25. Hey, 59, ready. Get the ball.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. And this is incomplete. Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, really the first round is pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they look pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skill players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in. But the reason they drafted him has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning, and he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington, but they love the big arm of this guy, and he's back at home. Remember, he grew up in Potomac, Maryland.
Looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Odell Beckham, 34 yards. And the Patriots have taken the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any...
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Hall of Famer Derek Brooks. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. Short throw pick six right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Well, Charles, while we have a moment, you know what we need to do here is give a nod to the new Hall of Famers who were brought into Canton and inducted on August the 3rd. Champ Bailey, Pat Bowlen, Gil Brandt, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law, Kevin Mawai, Ed Reed, and Johnny Robinson, all part of the class.
Fantastic class. When you talk about guys who played at a top level, obviously they're Hall of Famers. But what I found interesting about it is you've got a great pass catcher, the best pass-catching tight end in history, and Tony Gonzalez. How would he like to work against his secondary? Champ Bailey and Ty Law at corner, Ed Reed and Johnny Robinson at safety. Good luck trying to get open against those four. What a matchup that would have been. But it was a terrific night for those gentlemen. Congratulations. And, of course, Ed Reed's bust will go down in history because they got the hair exactly right. And Ed had a ball up there in his Hall of Fame speech.
And remember, next year they're going to celebrate the centennial year of the NFL with a special class of 20. So get ready for those speeches.
I wonder if they'll do it like Johnny Robinson this year, who actually submitted a video instead of going up to the podium. And his speech was about 5 minutes long, which is probably about the right length.
From the gun on third down, Ryan. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on third down, maybe said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, then no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
For a quick second there, I thought we were about to have a repeat performance of a kickoff return for a touchdown. This guy's on fire today.
They'll run. It's Lindsey. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. On first down, it's Gurley. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They go with Brown. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. From the gun, Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. A big play there on the catch and run, and even 70 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big...
And he's in! Touchdown, Raiders! A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Moore to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. Hey, 57 colors, 57 colors. Don't get nervous.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. There to stop it was Darius Leonard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes. Throw left side complete. That's Holt. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Hey, 15.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Yellow.
Mike 50.
Let's set it.
Mahomes now on 1st down. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Mahomes firing complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
Check 4.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Field goal would have been a decent length at 55 yards. They keep the kicking unit on the sideline. They're going for it.
Yellow.
Mahomes going to go on 4th down. And that is going to be incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage. So their first drive of the game already trailing, having given up points. A little surprised that they went for it, right?
Maybe the big guy, the head coach, senses this is going to be a shootout type of a game. That they've got to match them point for point, as opposed to, hey, we'll get them later. Maybe he just has that sense, and that's why he decided to go for it there.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Cooper was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Let's go, defense.
Elliott running right. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
Mike's 50. Here we go.
Hey, Sam.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And they've got the hookup. This is Olsen. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the pistol, here's Elliott. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here.
Ready. Check.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Mike 5-4, Mike 5.
Alpha.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Cooper's got it. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Silver.
Now Elliott. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. One man in the backfield, that's Elliott on 2nd and goal. Here's Ryan. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Lavonte David making his presence felt in the backfield.
They had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very...
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
That factored in. And the Raiders have got him. Sean Lee, the longtime vet, getting in and getting to the QB. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
65.
Here we go. 4th down, Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away.